Okay, next speaker. We're moving hot and fast. Mr. Bill Price. I met Bill about 3 years ago in, I believe, outside of Orlando. I think it was Fort Lauderdale. I was at a beautiful Italian steakhouse, seafood on the ocean. Bill came in that place. It was kind of like a Beverly Hills, West Palm Beach, very high end area, and he just walked in like he owned the place, like John Wayne. I will honestly never forget it. He's gone on to shatter records, set sales records, do incredible build. I think this company will do, I would say, about $3 billion in sales. So you might want to listen very close. Help me welcome Mr. Bill Price. Take it away, Bill.
Hey guys, Bill Price here in sunny North Carolina, enjoying the day. I was so excited when I got the call from Brent asking me to be on the show today. What a great program. We have a huge, incredible panel. So listen, we're going to go back to basics today, because when the market crashed back in 2008, my sales dropped all the way to $7 million a year. I wasn't happy. I did not like it. So I just went back to basics. Well, we all are roots when we started, okay? And then it's $20 million a year in closed volume ever since. So listen, join me on the journey today. We're going to come and get started and go back to basics.
Today, we're going to go back and look at all the fundamentals that realtors should be implementing into their business to be successful. Let's take a quote from Tony Robbins. Most people fail in life. Why? Because they major minor things. Guys, it's time to get serious. I look at realtors all the time like, really, dude? Life is not a dress rehearsal. Make it count. I don't want to hear the excuses anymore. Go after it. Get it. Let's be aggressive, okay? So listen, here are 6 simple practices that I use to succeed in my real estate business. 1, I visualize stuff. 2, I write down my goals. 3, I have a roadmap to get to where I need to go. My mindset has to be positive, going in the right direction at all times. What's my war chest look like? And education. So let's first start off with visualization. I write down my business plan every January 1. Guys, actually look forward to it, okay? And after I write it down, I post it somewhere where I can see it, okay? Some people put it in their office, their car, their fridge. I post it in my bathroom on the mirror. Why do I do that? Because I know twice a day I'm going to be at least brushing my teeth and I can see my goals. My brain is visualizing what I need to do to fulfill my dreams. Okay, so I write down all my goals. I put them on the mirror. My wife laughs at me. A year later, they all come true. The next year, January 1, I write down my goals, put it back up on the mirror. A few days later, I know she's got a few things scribbled on there. Says in-ground pool, beach house in Florida, new car, and I kind of laughed at her. Sure enough, a year later, all those things came true. So now she named it the magic mirror. So every January 1, I know at the end of the night, I'm going to look at that list I posted. She's going to add a few of her own. The importance of visualization. Okay, step 2, clear and concise goals, guys. You have to divide your plan into categories to reach those goals. First thing, simple. We all want to know how much money we're going to make. So if your goal in this example is going to make $100,000 in commission in a year, then you have to realize you probably have to sell about $4 million to get there, okay? Now, how are you going to get there? You're going to sell to buyers and sellers. Well, how many are you going to have? So let's look at this example. Let's say I have 3 listings. I have 7 buyers. That's 10 deals. That means they're going to average about $400,000 a piece. That'll be $4 million total in sales I have to do, okay? 0.25%, let's be conservative. There's my $100,000. This is simple. There's no magic bullet, but we need to write it down to see it, to make it go forward and come true for us. Okay, step 3, roadmap here. Where is this business coming from, right? Is it your sphere of influence, your sponsorship, your farming? Do you go after open houses, expires, withdrawals? Whatever it is, you have to put it down and map out what you're going to implement into your business to make this come true. Okay, let's talk about mindset. Step 4. Some people believe that good things just come to those who wait. Not me. No way. You have to go out there and get it. I'm not waiting for anyone. So you have that mindset that you keep just moving forward. So what's your street value personality? Guys, we're in sales. You better have a dynamic personality. Anyone that meets Brent Gove is just fired up after they see that person, right? Well, if you got Dwight's personality from The Office, you might want to rethink getting into any kind of sales. So you just be dynamic, okay? People want to know they're sitting in front of a leader. So when you meet a client, you better develop a connection. Right when I walk in the door, I'm asking that client a bunch of questions. The last listing I went in, I said, where'd you grow up? Where'd you go to high school? Where'd you go to college? He said, Notre Dame. I said, my uncle, Bill Leahy, teaches at Notre Dame. He's been teaching there for like 58 years. He taught Montana, Theismann, everyone. He's like, Professor Leahy, you kidding me? I had him in class in economics. Boom, there's a connection. I knew I was getting that listing, and I just developed a friend, right? So show up like no one else. Be confident. High energy. Important, guys. Ready? Next step here with mindset. Control the narrative, okay? There's so many sellers out there and buyers that are watching HGTV and they're watching, they're on Zillow. They think, they're the expert. Make sure that they know you are the professional in the room, and you can do this by controlling the narrative by implementing the 70-20-10 rule. What's the 70-20-10 rule? 70% of the time, you're just going to be asking them questions and listening. They will tell you everything you want to know moving forward, if it's with a seller or buyer. 20% of the time, you're going to talk about their house they want or they want to sell. And then the last 10% of the time, you're going to tell them how great you are, how great the company you work for is, and you'll win their business. Okay, step 5, what's your war chest? How much money are you budgeting to get to your goals? So many realtors fail because they do not write down their annual budget. Guys, if you want to make $100,000 a year, say you made $100,000 in commission, you better put 20% of that aside. $20,000, you put it toward whatever you want. Here's an example, a $10,000 annual budget. Mix it up, flyers, print ads, Facebook, Google ads, whatever it is, whatever fits your personality, write it down and have a path to success. Okay, next slide is telling me we're stepping on to step 6, your education. Things you didn't learn in real estate school. This is so true, guys. It's like 3% of what you learned in real estate school, you're going to use in real estate. We have to get our feet on the ground, get our boots muddy, right? Get out there and learn. How do we do this, okay? Continuous education, okay? Find a mentor, hire a coach. Some of the most successful people I know in the business have coaches, are coaches. Brent Gove has a coach, So just think about that. The top agents in the country have coaches. Why don't you? And something that Brent always preaches, the more you pay, the more you're going to pay attention. So don't be worried about, paying too much for a coach. It'll pay off. Now, what's really important, guys, with educating yourself, you have to be the market expert, okay? Like I said earlier, buyers and sellers are more educated now than they ever were before. And something, you have to do daily updates to stay on top of the business. And I'll tell you why daily updates are so important. I got a call years ago on a Wednesday. Someone wanted me to come out Saturday and tell them what their house is worth. So Thursday, I worked diligently. I put together one of the best comparative market analysis I've ever done. I'm so psyched. I closed the book Thursday night. Saturday morning, I drive over to their house and I tell them what their house is worth. And they look at me puzzled. And they're like, Bill, the same house up the block closed yesterday for $15,000 more than you're telling us our house is worth. Guys, I didn't stay on top of it. Just 24 hours one day. So I should have done another search on Matrix to find out if there anything happened in 24 hours. You have to be the market expert, because what do we hear all the time? The Zillow estimate, right? I don't know about you guys. I'd like one more time. Just say it one more time. I don't want to hear. I am the expert and you're going to listen to me. And they want to hear that from you. They want to hear that confidence. They want to know that you're the educated person in the room and you're the one with all the knowledge and you're educating them and you're pointing them in the right direction to get their house sold. Okay, we just completed our 6 steps to succeed. Now it's time for call to action. What are you going to do with all this knowledge and your war chest and your mindset? Are you going to put into farming or open houses, sponsorship? What are you going to do to make it work? Well, let's look at this next slide. We all know the deadliest catch. What do? They throw out crab nets. They throw out about 12, right? And they start pulling in the nets. So they're all empty and they're all, disappointed. Then halfway through, they pull out a few more nets. There's a few more crabs. But at the end of the show, they're pulling up 3 or 4 crab nets that are just full of crabs, right? Well, guys, guess what? We have to do the same thing in real estate. We have to throw out an open house crab net, a farming crab net, a sponsored crab net, cross promotion crab net, a networking crab net in the community. And guess what? At the end of the quarter, at the end of the year, we're going to find out that only 2 or 3 of these crab nets work. But we have to be willing to do that. We have to be willing to try more than one source of marketing to get your business going. And guys, I want you to remember too that all marketing works. Don't be afraid to be a risk taker. It's okay to stand out. Voila! There's our buddy Richard Simmons. Anyone over 40 right now watching this is chuckling because they remember him. Who's Richard Simmons? Richard Simmons decided to go after a market no one wanted. He was basically developed a workout program for like senior citizens. And he dressed, in like rhinestone pink and purple tank tops, right? I mean, he really stood out. But what? In a crowded marketplace, right? Fitting in is just a failure. You have to stand out. And when I got into business, I bought a Hummer. I wrapped it head to toe, put my face on it, put my website, Priceless Experience. People were drawing mustaches and beards all over the side of my Hummer and my face. I laughed it off. I didn't care. My sales went through the roof. I didn't care about standing out. I wasn't going to be invisible to succeed. Here's a few other examples. We have Mary, the realtor over here. She's got a listing across the street from a neighbor, from a cemetery, and she puts on her sign, quiet neighbors across the street, right? She's just tongue-in-cheek, being funny. We have Nicole over here on the bottom of her sign. It says $250 on free tacos with the purchase of this home. She's standing out. Buyers and sellers will be walking by. Other neighbors will see that, and they'll remember her because she was kind of funny. She wasn't afraid to take a shot. Okay, let's finish up here, guys. How do I keep selling at a high volume? What's my secret sauce? If I just had to pick a few things, it's farming and sponsorship. And what are the key points to farming, guys? So strategically, search for the right area. Pick a price point that you're going to be comfortable in. Okay, let me just go back. There we go. I would pick a community with a little lower price point. Don't pick $1 million community. Pick something, $300 to $600 grand. Pick a community where there's going to be, 30 plus homes a year sold in there. I had an agent one time pick a community with 5 homes a year. I was like, why are you even farming that community? And please do not pick a community, say that Brent Gove sells a lot of real estate in. Say Brent sells out in Palisades Park, Grove out in California, and there's 60 homes a year that sell there, and he sells 30. Stay away from that community. Get on Matrix, get on MLS, do your homework, pick a community that you think will work for you and is not dominated by a top agent. Okay, let's move on to sponsorship. Of course, guys, sponsorship is really goodwill for the community, right? So wherever you decide to farm, whatever community you're going to farm, you have to sponsor as much as you can in that community. Reach out to them, show them that you care. It could be, bringing 10 pizzas to a swim meet and show up halfway through the swim meet and give free pizza to anyone who wants it. And when you hand out the paper plate, staple your business card to it. The parents are going to appreciate it. They're hot, sweaty, and tired. Give them bottles of water with your name on it, whatever it takes. One thing that I've done that has really helped my business, I'm the guy at Halloween that has a crazy, scary cemetery. It takes me a week to set it up. Channel 6 News comes in and tape records it. I have parents I hire to help me. We chase around kids with fake chainsaws and stuff, fog machines, scary music, you name it, we got it going. But what do? The big, big candy bars, and I take the business card and I tape it to the back of it. So I might hand out 500 candy bars, but it's 500 business cards that a lot of parents are going to see. And guess what? Parents love it. They love it. Parents will come by and they just want to jump in my yard and scare other people. It's a lot of fun. Okay, let's talk lastly here about the follow-up. Not following up with your prospects or your clients is the same as filling up your bathtub without first putting in the stopper in the drain. You just, wasted all that time and effort with your clients. You're not following up. Follow-up is so key, guys. You've got to make sure you contact your agents. So at the end of the day, ask yourself, what client did I not think about today that needs just a simple touch from me? It could be an email, a text message, something on Facebook. And guys, please check your email constantly, okay? It should definitely be going to your phone if it's not. And at least check it in the morning and at night. See what clients are reaching out for you for help, okay? And you have to keep communicating with your buyers and sellers. Once a week, even if you have nothing to say, no news, just call and say, hey man, I'm just calling to reach out. How's everything doing? I got no news. I'm just calling to say hi. They need to know that you care about them and you're working for them. And listen, guys, I know we all work so hard. Everyone on this call probably thinks they work the hardest. We're realtors. That's what we think. We work hard, okay? Get over it. No more excuses. Just get to work. Look at poor Mary here. Who said real estate professionals were was stressful? I'm 48 years old. I feel great. How many times do we feel like this? We feel beat up. We feel 20 years older than we are. It doesn't matter, guys. That's real estate. But real estate, on the flip side, gets us such an opportunity to spend quality time with our family, to work from home, and make really good money. So listen, I had a great time today. I just lastly want to thank Brent Gove for putting on such an amazing event. I look forward to seeing you all in August in Texas and hanging out with Tony Robbins. Thank you all.
Bill, thank you. Loved it. You just never disappoint. You are a rock star of rock stars. So thank you so much, Bill.